All right. Take a nice seat and turn your thighs in and back. So you might want to sit up on your block or your blanket. That'll give your hips a little room to open up and your knees. And sit up as tall as you possibly can through your waist, through your side bodies, nice and long. And imagine a string lifting up through the top of your head. And then hands can rest either up or down on your thighs. And just close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And just noticing how your body feels today. Noticing where you feel your breath. And I want you to feel whatever is touching the floor, whatever is touching the earth on your body, your seat, your feet, your legs, wherever it's touching. And I want you to imagine whatever is touching, that it's growing roots down into the earth, that you're making a deeper connection with the earth. And as you breathe, that pulsation of breath and energy expanding and contracting around you, but also into the earth. This coming week is Earth Day, and I love that one of the blessings that has come out of this time of quarantine is that the skies are clearing up and there's less pollution. And I think there's just more mindfulness of how we're treating our planet. And in this practice, I want you to think about each breath as how you're treating yourself and how you're treating each other and how you're treating the planet. And may we breathe with compassion. May we breathe with a sense of responsibility to take care of this body that we're in. That sense of responsibility to take care of this earth that we inhabit. And a sense of responsibility to take care of each other. I look around outside and I see the beauty. I see the blue skies and the trees starting to bud. I heard the rain falling this morning. Some of you have snow falling. But just thinking about the beauty that is around us. And it's really a reflection of the beauty that's within us, within our own hearts. And when we take care of it, when we nurture the beauty that's within, what's around us becomes more beautiful too. Each breath an opportunity to nourish each cell, our hearts and our minds with an intention of love, and kindness and compassion. May we use that in our practice today as our intention. Mindful of how we're moving, how we're treating ourselves, how we're talking to ourselves, our own inner mantra. May it be loving, may it be kind. And may that radiate out into the rest of our world. With your next breath in, reach your arms out and up overhead. Stretch up through the fingertips and let the shoulder blades come down your back so you're making space across the upper back, the heart. Bring your hands together into heart center as you exhale. And taking in a full breath and breathe in as much breath as you possibly can and hold that inhale. And as slowly as you can, let the breath release and breathe out a little bit more breath than you think possible. And softly blink your eyes open, release your hands, and go ahead and bring your arms out and up to about 60 degrees. And arms as straight as possible, and curl your fingertips in towards your palms and your thumbs are out. And make sure you're not hugging your shoulders up into your ears, but let the shoulders come down a little so there's space, but there's still length, like you're lifting up through the top of the head. And we're going to start with breath of fire. So some of you have done this before, and it is a very heating, a very intense breath to get the energy and the vibration within us changing. So starting, just close your eyes, keep your arms up and straight, and stick your tongue out and pant like a dog. And as you do this, notice your belly pumping and that belly button pulling in towards your spine with each exhale. And you can keep panting like this with your tongue out, or as you're ready, maybe try closing your mouth and just breathing through the nose, the same breath of fire. Try to keep your arms as straight as possible. If there's any pain, feel free to lower your arms and then bring them back up as you need. This breath is here to create a little agitation within your mind, within your body, that heat, that fire in your belly. So stay with it. We're trying to change our thought patterns, create something stronger, something more loving, something more kind, releasing anything false and negative. And with your next inhale, breathe in as much breath as you can and bring your thumbs together overhead to touch. And slow exhale, release your fingertips and slowly let the arms come out and down by your sides. Good. Holding either your knees or your ankles, your shins, start to arch and round your spine. So your chest, your heart is moving forward. And as you exhale, your heart space moves back, your upper back rounds. And you might feel the tilt of your hips and your pelvis as you do this. As you start to warm up, there gets to be a little bit more movement in the spine. So eyes closed, and you can focus at that third eye point right between your eyebrows. Make sure you're not squinching the muscles on your face, keeping them nice and soft and moving with your breath. So our breath is so necessary, this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide with all of the plants, other living beings out in the world. We need each other to exist. So taking some deeper breaths, not only for yourself, but for the plants. And moving and breathing with that loving kindness. With your next inhale, sit up nice and tall and bring your hands on your shoulders so the fingertips are on the front side of the shoulders, the thumbs are on the back, and your elbows are out wide parallel to the floor. So you keep sitting up tall through the top of your head. And I like to close my eyes doing this. As you inhale, I want you to twist your upper body to your left. And as you exhale, twist your upper body to your right. So rotating and twisting the spine, keeping the mouth closed, and just breathe through your nose. You're inhaling left, exhaling right. You can go as slowly or as quickly as you want. If this bugs you at all, you are welcome to just keep your shoulders steady and slowly turn your head from side to side, just getting the rotation in the neck. So your choice. With your next inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release your arms and open your eyes. Bring your legs out and a little bit wider than your mat, and fingertips behind you. Lift your chest up, and a couple of times just take your knees from side to side, lifting your heart up. And then coming back to center and crossing your left ankle over your right thigh. So some of you I know are sitting in a chair, and you can even do this in a chair to try to cross that left ankle over the right thigh, and either scoot your right foot in or maybe pick your butt up and move your butt forward. Make sure you're not rounding your spine, but really lifting your heart up. And eyes open here, flex the toes. Full breath in, breathe in more breath than you think you can. And exhale, and full breath in, and exhale. And then switching sides, slide your right leg out, and now crossing your left ankle over your right ankle over your left thigh. Do the other side. Sit up nice and tall, flex your toes. So feel the length in your spine, and feel what's touching the floor, rooted, growing roots down into the earth, and that pulsation of breath and energy expanding around you and in all directions into the floor, into the earth. And then sliding that leg out, and shake your legs out a little, and go ahead and make your way into hands and knees. So if you're on a hardwood or harder surface floor, use the blanket to pad your knees. And in your hands and knees, hands are shoulder distance, right under the shoulders, knees right under your hips, and close your eyes and start to arch and round your spine here. So allowing ourselves to find the rhythm. And our nervous system likes a rhythm. The earth likes a rhythm. You think of all the rhythms that happen out in the world, just the sun, and the moon, and the tides, and the seasons, all the rhythms and the patterns that happen out in nature. Our breath moves with those rhythms. Feel the roots growing into the earth and expanding and growing from there. Go ahead and move your knees a little bit wider, and maybe you come up onto fingertips and move your hips in circles. Eyes opened or closed, but find a new rhythm. It's constantly changing. It changes with our energy, it changes with our mood. Opposite direction with the circles. And then allow your hips to move back towards your heels into child's pose, and turn your palms to face up if you can, open to receive the teachings and the blessings of this practice. And find the rhythm here, even in the stillness of your body. There's movement with your breath, that constant expansion and contraction and vibration of breath and energy. So feel free in the practice today at any time if you need to take child's pose or make any modifications that you need. We've got a lot of levels practicing today, so be sure to listen to your body and what you need. Inhaling and exhaling. And flipping your palms back over and come back through hands and knees. And I like toes curled under here. Take your right leg straight back with the ball of the foot on the floor. And lift your chin up, lift your eyes up. And lift your right leg parallel to the floor and tone the belly. So that's your inhale. As you exhale, pull your knee and nose towards each other, rounding. So inhale and exhale, and move as slowly or as quickly as you like, creating your own rhythm. Breathe just through the nose. One more inhale and exhale. And take that right leg straight back, ball of the foot on the floor. Now turn your left fingertips and your left toes to the side a little bit, and then pivot your right heel to the floor, parallel to the back edge of the mat, and bring your right hand to your right hip. Stack the shoulders, and then reach the right arm straight up and over your ear, and curl open, putting weight in the outer edge of that right foot. Full breath in, breathing with kindness. Exhale, and feel the roots pressing down through that left hand, left knee, shin, and right foot. And coming back through center, hands and knees, and take your left leg now straight back, ball of the foot on the floor. Lift your chin, lift your gaze, belly in, and lift your left leg up. So feel rooted in the hands and that right leg. As you inhale, exhale, bring knee and nose towards each other. Inhale and lift, exhale and round. So move at your own pace. Eyes opened or closed. One more inhale and exhale, and lengthening that left leg out, ball of the foot on the floor. Now turn your right fingertips and toes to the right. The right toes might kick off your mat, and then pivot your left heel to the floor, parallel to the back edge of the mat. Look at that right hand, get rooted, grounded, and then grow up out of that. So you're stretching up through the left fingertips. Look up, put weight in the outer left toes, and then reach the left arm over your ear, curling open a little bit more, stretch through the rib cage and the waist. Inhale and exhale. And coming back through hands and knees. So hands shoulder distance apart, toes curled under, and lift your knees up off the floor and come into your first downward facing dog. And in your dog, look at your hands and make sure you're pressing the finger pads down and lifting about the center of your palm up, like you're suction cupping the hands and the floor. And then balls of the feet and toes connected. Lift your heels, lift your butt up as high as you can. Full breath in, and as you exhale, let your heels lower. They might not touch, it's not necessary. Just seeing where you are and breathing with kindness for this body that you're in. Anywhere that you feel tightness or maybe in a pain, send your breath there. Send the kindness there, the love there. Shift forward into plank, shoulders right over your wrists and knees up or down, your choice. Full breath in. As you exhale, bend your elbows and lower all the way onto the floor. And then prop up on your forearms. So elbows are right under your shoulders, palms down, and just looking at your fingertips, press the tops of the feet and lifting, feel the knees lift, the thighs and the butt engage, and then start to lift just your chest, ribs, and belly button. So keep your hips down to start. Feel that connection of what's pressing into the earth and then what's energetically drawing up and away. And then keep your knees down and lift your hips and thighs up. So really toning the belly. Try to find that nice, steady, calm rhythm of the breath in and out. And slowly lowering thighs, hips, and belly down. And bring your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders, fingertips or palms down. Still pressing the tops of the feet, pulling the belly button in, and broad across the collarbones as you inhale, cobra. And exhale, lower. You don't need to lift very high at all. Move with engagement. Notice what's touching the floor, pushing down and pulling up at the same time. Lower down. And inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Good. Come through hands and knees. Plank if you'd like. And downward facing dog. So we want to have that engagement, that awareness, whatever we're connected to with the earth, and draw energy up from there. Our muscles really hugging into the bones and supporting the joints. Lift your right leg up and back as high as you can. Stretch through that right heel. And then bend your right knee and open the right hip. Keep your left shoulder lifted, belly in. And lowering the right leg down and lifting the left leg up. Keep your arms level. You can look, make sure the shoulders are square. Reach back through the left heel. Bend the left knee and open the left hip a little. Try not to let that right hip or right shoulder drop. And lowering that left foot down. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Use the blocks here, bend your knees, and really get rooted into the earth, pressing the toes down and then creating arches by drawing the four corners of each foot up and work your legs straighter. Inhale halfway. So hands come to the shins for most of us, torso parallel to the floor, and bow forward. Moving with your intention of kindness and compassion towards your own body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees, hands to your hips or thighs, shoulders back, and come all the way up to stand, reaching your arms up and hands to your heart. So arms by your sides, palms forward, and feet inner hip distance apart. Again, you want to press the toes down and pull the arches of the feet up so you're creating energy up your legs. Those roots that grow down drop nutrients and energy into your legs, and reach your arms up and hold your left wrist and side bend over to the right. And back to center and hold the right wrist and side bend over to the left. And back to center and lower your arms. Inhale and reach your arms up tall in mountain pose, and then bend your knees, bend your elbows. So keep your shoulders right over your hips, your heart lifted, and lift the back of your skull a little, but still try to lift your eyes up towards the sky. And then re-straighten your arms and your legs, stretch up, maybe curl back just a little, upper mid-back. And exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows. So we're squeezing the shoulder blades in, pulling the ribs in the belly in, and feel the energy in the legs pulling up and getting stronger, straighter as you reach up. Inhale, curl back a little, and exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Full breath here. This time as you exhale, fold forward, hands to floor or blocks, and inhaling and exhaling. Good. Stepping your right foot all the way back and quarter turn to your right. So your feet are pretty wide here and parallel. Bend your knees a lot. Get your thighs as parallel to the floor as you can. Fingertips can be on floor or blocks. And then feel the outline of your feet and create those arches. So you're pressing down and drawing up, and then go side to side with your hips. So moving with kindness. Moving with a compassion, moving with a responsibility to take care of this body. Good. As you come to center, with the knees bent, hands to your thighs, roll your shoulders back and come all the way up to stand and reach your arms out and up, and hands to heart center. So we're going to move a little bit here. Take your arms out wide, parallel to the floor. So this is always your inhale. As you exhale, you're going to take your left hand and reach it down to your right foot. So left hand to right foot, or shin or knee or thigh, and then that top arm reaches up, your right arm reaches up. Maybe you look up. Inhale back to center. Same side. Left hand reaches for the right leg. Anywhere, turn to look up, reach up. Inhale back to center. And exhale. I want you to move at your own pace. Keep your eyes open and make sure you're breathing through your nose. Keeping the legs as straight as you can. Feel the feet rooted down into the earth and pulling energy up. So not locking the knees. We want to keep some space, some room for that energy to flow. Good. One more time. Reach right and hold. So you're reaching your right fingertips up, that left hand somewhere on your right leg. Turn to look up and try to move both legs a little straighter. Draw your belly in. Turn your torso a little deeper. And mindfully inhale, come back to center, arms out wide. So other side, full breath in at center. As you exhale, reaching your right hand to your left leg, left arm reaches up. Inhale to center. Exhale and moving at your own pace. Knees not locked, eyes stay open, legs are engaged. Pressing down and reaching up at the same time. Find the rhythm, find the pattern. Maybe have a slight smile on your face. Make sure there's a softness with the strength of movement. With your next, reach down to that left leg. Hold, reaching the left arm up. Turn up. Turn your torso, but both legs a little straighter. Feel your feet pressing into the earth and pulling up at the same time. Breathe with kindness. Good. Inhale, back to center, arms parallel. Reach up, inhale. As you exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor blocks. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Good. Quarter turn back to the front of your mat through left lunge and step your right foot forward. Inhaling halfway and exhale, fold. Good. Bend your knees, hands to hips or thighs, shoulders back, and come all the way up to stand, reaching your arms up and hands to your heart. So this one, I want you to stand with your toes out and your heels in and come down. You might need the blocks under your fingertips or fingertips to the floor. You're gonna keep your heels lifted, but your heels are touching, and come down to a squat here. So your squat might be more up with your butt up in the air. If you can go lower, do that. Your fingertips always stay on the floor or blocks. So this is your exhale here. Your inhale, your heels stay lifted. You're gonna lift your butt up in the air. So exhaling, squat. Inhaling, lift your butt. Keep your heels lifted and move. Find your own rhythm. Connected to the floor. So whatever is touching, pressing down, but drawing energy up. Keep those heels lifted if you can, squatting as deep as you can without creating any pain or discomfort in the knees or hips. Inhale as your butt goes up, exhale as your butt comes down. Next, inhale, stay up and lower your heels, parallel your feet, and fold forward, exhaling. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. Good. Stepping back to downward facing dog. And forward into plank. Your choice, knees up or down to lower, all the way down onto your belly and prop up on forearms. Elbows right under your shoulders. And lifting your chest, ribs, and belly button away from the floor. Make that connection. Press the inner edge of the wrist down. Press your finger pads down. Press your feet down. And then add on by lifting hips and thighs. You can stay here or maybe curl your toes and lift your knees. Pull back with the elbows towards your toes. Pull the toes forward. Find the rhythm of your breath. Find a deeper connection with your breath, with that energy pulsating, kindness in and out. And lowering knees, thighs, hips, and belly, and all the way down. Hands for cobra. Press your feet. Inhale, stretch your heart, and bow forward. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Hands under your shoulders, hands and knees, plank, and downward facing dog. Full breath in. Lift your tail up. Lift your armpits a little. And walk your feet forward to your hands. At the front of your mat, you might bring your feet a little wider for this squat. Again, you can stay up higher, elbows on the thighs, or go lower as that's available with your knees and your hips. Hands to your heart if you can. Full breath in. Exhale. Feel your feet in the floor. And go ahead and have a seat and grab your block if you have one, or whatever you have that you can use, maybe your towel or your blanket if it's not too big, or a small pillow between your thighs. Go ahead and lay on your back. So block goes between your upper inner thighs, and shoulders are back. Lift your feet up off the floor. So now the connection of what's touching the earth has changed. So you want to feel the connection. You want to feel the roots of the sacrum, of the ribs, of the shoulders, of the back of the head touching. And then press your hands and thighs into each other. So you're creating a deeper connection here by pressing hands and thighs and lengthening the tail away from your shoulders and your head away from your shoulders in the opposite direction. So you're pressing, you're creating strength here, you're creating energy here. Maybe close your eyes. And can you breathe with a little bit more kindness? You're creating strength in your own body, creates strength for the world around you. Remember, we see a reflection of what's in our own hearts. Full breath in and exhale. Bring your arms out to a T. Keep that block between your thighs if you can, and take your knees over to the right and put weight in that right elbow. Will help you keep the left shoulder down. And then squeezing your knees back to center, take your knees to the left. Push your left elbow down to keep the right shoulder grounded. And back to center. Knees go right. Squeeze the block with that right thigh. Back to center, knees go left. Squeeze the block with the left leg. Back to center. Over to the right one more time. Eyes soft, breath really deep. And back to center and over to the left. And back to center. Go ahead and take your block out and set it to the side. Bring your feet together and your knees wide. So option 1, feet will stay on the floor. Option 2, feet can stay lifted up. Toes are touching, knees are wide, and hands come behind your head. So pressing the back of your head and your fingertips into each other to create connection there. Draw the shoulder blades together on your back. Full breath in. As you exhale, head and heart lift. Elbows stay wide. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. There might be a little lift of the tail. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Inhale back. Moving with kindness. So pay attention to what your body is experiencing. Lifting as you exhale. Inhaling as you go back. Lift. Inhale back. And lift. And inhale back. And lift. Inhale back. And lift. Inhale back. And lift. Inhale back. Good. Bring your knees together and take your arms straight up in the air, both arms. Knees are bent at 90 degrees. And pull that belly in. So you're anchoring the belly towards the floor. Almost 100%, you're pressing the low back into the floor, but there's like a 5% space. So keep your eyes open or closed. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, extend your right arm out and your left leg out. So we're alternating here. Inhale back to center, and exhale, left arm and right leg extend. Don't move the other arm and leg. Back to center. And right arm, left leg extend out. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm and right leg, and center. Right arm and left leg, and center. Left arm and right leg, and center. And right arm and left leg, and center. And left arm and right leg, and center. One more each side. Right arm, left leg, center, and left arm and right leg and center. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands under your sacrum or right by your hips, so they're right under your butt to give a little support, and take both legs straight up in the air, shoulders back. Taking your right leg out, either hovering just above the floor, or right knee can be bent at 90 degrees, or right foot can be on the floor. So your right leg is not going to move. Your left leg is. It's going to lower and lift up and down, moving slowly. Move at your own pace. Your right leg is steady. If you need to change where your right leg is, maybe bend it, maybe place that foot on the floor. Make your breath nice and rhythmic. Breathe with kindness. Move with kindness. Good. One more on this side, lowering and lifting, and then switching legs. So now your right leg will move, your left leg, knee bent, foot on the floor, or legs straight out, your choice. Slowly lowering and lifting the right leg. So you want to avoid arching the low back. So if you have too much space between the low back and the floor, you either need to engage the belly a little bit more, or maybe take one of the bent knee options. And one more, lower and lift. Good. Bend both knees and place your feet on the floor. And if you want, you can grab your block again, place it between your upper inner thighs, and palms right by your hips face down. Press your feet into the floor, press your shoulders back, press your head back, and start to lift your hips, your heart, and your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, lowering all the way back down, hips and arms. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and lower, and feel what's touching the floor. Make sure you're pressing into the earth with your feet, lifting as you inhale. Exhale and lower, and lifting and lower. Good. Go ahead and take the block out and set it to the side. You can roll to your side, or you can rock front to back the length of your spine a few times. Some of you can rock and roll all the way up to a standing forward fold. No hands. We will all meet in downward facing dog. So in your dog, again, notice where your connection is, what's touching the floor. Press down and draw up with kindness, with awareness, with responsibility. Lift your right leg up in the air. Bend the knee and open the hip. And this time, lift your left shoulder and look over your left shoulder. See if you can see your right toes. Full breath in. As you exhale, bringing your knee towards your nose and step that foot forward between your hands. Lowering your back knee to the floor and bringing your left hand a little bit wider. Lean into that left hand and start to turn open to the right, reaching your right arm up. And take a full breath in here. As you exhale, you're going to sweep your right hand down and touch the left. As you inhale, sweep the arm out and up, eyes follow. Exhale, right hand comes back down to the left. Inhale, back up. If you want your back knee lifted as you do that, you're welcome to do that. Right hand comes down as you exhale. Inhale, back up. And exhale, come back down. And now leave that right hand down inside the right foot. Again, back knee can be up or down. Walk your hands forward and get low inside that right inner thigh. Some of you might want to come to forearms, blocks or no blocks. You're trying to lift your butt and lower your heart, engaging the upper back. Lift the belly. And if your back knee is lifted, lower it down and come up to straighter arms and hands on either side. Use the blocks and move your left knee back and scoot your right foot forward as much as you can, lifting the toes and the ball of the foot, keeping the heel down, making that connection into the earth and dragging it back isometrically. So you're working the right leg straighter from the heel to the right butt. And then lowering your chest a little. Make sure you're looking down at the earth, not forward at your foot. Full breath in and out. And then bending your right knee back to 90 degrees. Again, blocks under your hands for a little more space. Lift your left knee and lift your left leg in the air. Hands or blocks come forward. Start to work the right leg straighter. Lift your belly and chest up and bow forward. Inhale and lift. And exhale, bow forward. Good. Stepping that left foot all the way back. Three-legged dog, right leg lifted up and back. Your choice. You can stay in dog with the leg lifted or not, or shift forward into plank if you want to create a little bit more heat and energy. Lowering leg up or knees down all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra. Heart stretches forward, radiating that kindness, and back to downward facing dog. Full breath in and out here. Lifting your left leg up. Bend the left knee, open the hip. Now lift your right shoulder, look over the right shoulder, see if you can see the left toes. Full breath in. As you exhale, bring that knee to your nose and step that left foot forward. Help it through as you need and lower the right knee to the floor. Right hand comes a little bit wider as you lean into it. Turn your heart open, reaching that left arm up. So remember, back knee could be up or down, your choice. Your inhale is you're stretching up and looking up. Your exhale, your left hand is sweeping down to the right hand touching. Inhale, back up. Exhale, sweeping down, looking down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, back up. And exhale down, and keep your left hand down and back knee up or down again, your choice. Walk your hands forward or maybe come onto forearms. Use the blocks for a little extra space. Breathe. Lifting your butt, lowering your heart, eyes towards the earth. Breathe with compassion towards the earth, towards your body. And if your back knee is lifted, lower it down, come up to straighter arms and hands on either side the left foot. So move your right knee back and wiggle your left foot forward as far as you can, heel down and toes up, pulling the toes back, dragging back with the heel. So imagine it into fresh, dark soil. You're pulling the heel back in the earth. Hip moves back, lower your heart, looking straight down at the floor, not at your foot. Creating that energy and that engagement, that energy of kindness pulsating in and out of your body, in and out of the earth. And bending your left knee and lifting the right knee and lifting your right leg in the air. And bend your left knee. Press the foot down and then draw up from the four corners to work the left leg as straight as you can, bowing forward, head and heart. Bending your left knee, step your right leg all the way back, and three-legged dog, lifting the left leg. And you can stay here, you can stay in dog, you can be in child's pose, or come forward into plank, lowering as you'd like. Inhaling cobra. And back to downward facing dog. Full breath here. And lowering your knees to the floor. And go ahead and grab your blanket or your towel, whatever you have that you can roll up nice and tight. So option one, most of you know calf smash behind your knees. And option two, if you have any knee issues, you're welcome to roll the blanket up, put it on the floor, and stand on the blanket with the balls of your feet. Heels are on the floor. And you start with your knees bent as you come forward. Hands can come to the floor or use the block, and move your legs straighter to fold forward. So in this standing forward fold, you're getting a stretch through the backs of the legs. Make sure you're engaging the belly and the upper back. If you prefer calf smash, the blanket comes up behind your knees and the tops of the feet are down, and you bring your weight back. So your shoulders are right over your hips and you feel that compression. You feel a little discomfort maybe in the calves, which is good. If your knees hurt, do the other option. And then bring your index finger and your thumbs together and just rest your palms up on your thighs and close your eyes. And as you press that thumb and index finger into each other, that's a mudra for clarity, for wisdom. This practice helps us change our perspective and have a little bit more insight and intuition into our choices, into our thoughts, our words, the energy that we create. And may we have the wisdom and the insight into how we should be treating our bodies, how we should be treating the earth. And may we just start with the breath, coming back to that kindness, that compassion. And maybe visualizing for yourself what it looks like to treat your body with kindness. And visualizing what it looks like to treat the earth with kindness. How can we nurture and nourish our own bodies and our earth at the same time? How can we nurture the relationships with the people around us? Learning to have compassion for ourselves helps us to have it for the rest of the world, for the people around us. May each breath have that intention. You can wiggle a little, you can move the blanket back a little if you're sitting on it. If you're standing, you're welcome to lean your hips forward and back a little, just a couple more breaths. And then carefully making your way into downward facing dog, just feeling that release, that space in the backs of your legs. Lift your butt up and lower your heels down. Really stretch your butt up in the air, getting the backs of the legs longer, and then your hips up and back. Lift your armpits. Full breath in and exhale. And walking your feet forward to your hands and inhaling and exhaling. And bending your knees and hands to hips or thighs, shoulders back as you come all the way up and reach your arms to the sky. Look up. And hands to your heart. Good. So standing on your right leg, bend your left knee and grab a hold of the foot or the ankle for the thigh stretch. So if you have trouble holding your foot, use your strap or your belt and make a loop and put your foot or ankle in that strap. So everyone, make sure your left knee is directly next to the right knee. So thighs are together and lengthening that knee to the floor. Now, eyes down to help you balance. Make sure you feel the right foot pressing down and pulling up at the same time. Unlock the right knee, broad across the heart, and maybe right hand on your heart or reach it out as you start to maybe kick that left foot up and back away from your butt. Again, right knee is not locked. Full breath. As you come back up, release the foot, release the strap, lifting your left knee and bring that left knee out to the side. So you can hold it with your hand or maybe hold the ankle and bring that foot in for tree pose. So if you need to hold onto the wall or a piece of furniture, it's totally okay. We're not rigid, we're not contracted in that right leg. A little bend, be okay to wobble. Take your arms out and up, maybe gaze up, and maybe move your arms around. Trees move. Trees have strong roots that keep them standing up as they blow in the wind. They sway. They flow. Good. Bringing that knee forward and stepping that left foot all the way back to the back of your mat. Stretch your arms up. So nice long crescent lunge. Full breath in. As you exhale, open warrior two. So in your warrior two, it should be pretty wide on your mat between your feet. And if you could draw a line from your right heel, it would intersect the left arch. Shoulders right over your hips. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Feel the feet firmly planted, grounded, and pulling the energy up. Reverse and take your left hand down and right arm up. Eyes soft. Breath nice and deep. Lower your hips a little more. Lift your heart a little more. Start to move your right leg straighter, pulling back on that right outer hip. Turn your hips more forward towards the front of your mat and reach your right hand forward and down. It can grab the shin, the floor, or a block. So your right hand is directly under the right shoulder as you start to turn your heart open. Look up, reaching left fingertips towards the sky. So again, notice what's touching the earth, connected. So you're rooting down, getting grounded, but pulling that energy up to make more space. Full breath in and exhale. And bringing your left hand to your left hip. And then turning your gaze down to the floor. Start to bend your right knee. Step in a little with your left foot. Walk your right hand forward and use a block if you've got it. And lifting your left leg in the air. Right leg gets straighter. Lift your belly and chest off the right thigh as you turn left hip, thigh, shoulder open to the left and reaching that left arm up. So stay looking down, connected to the earth for more balance. If you've got it and you want to turn to look up, you're welcome to. But stay connected to what's touching the floor. Full breath in and exhale. And lowering your left hand and your left foot to the floor. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Good. Bend your knees, hands to hips or thighs, shoulders back. As you come up, reaching your arms up, stretching up, looking up, and hands to heart center. Good. Standing on the other side. So now you're standing left and bending your right knee. So hold the foot or ankle or use the strap. Again, connected to what's touching the floor. It's just your left foot. So pull up the arches, get strong, feel the muscles engage without getting rigid. Kicking foot into hand, left hand on your heart or reaching out. Bend your left knee a little as you kick the right foot up and back away from your butt. Keep kicking, breathing. As you come back up, release the foot, lift the knee and bring it out to the side. So hold the knee or hold the ankle and maybe bring the foot inside the thigh. So make sure your foot is not on your left knee at all. Arms can reach out and up and start to move your arms around a little bit. Even more challenge if you close your eyes and do this. Stay connected to what's grounded, that left foot leg. Full breath. Bring your knee forward. And stepping that foot all the way back so you're in crescent lunge. Front knee is 90 degrees. Lower your hips and then work the back leg straighter. Pull your belly in. Heart up, gaze up. Connected to what's touching the earth. Radiating compassion, kindness with each breath. Open warrior two. Back heel to the floor and go wider between your feet if you can. Hips turn in just a little, heart opens to the right. Stretch your arms out. Hug the feet and feel the inner thighs engage, the belly lift, your heart lift, the top of the head lifts. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. Lower your hips more, lift your heart more. Eyes are open here. And start to move the left leg straighter, pulling back on the left outer hip. Hips can turn in and hinge forward. Hand comes to the floor, shin or block as you turn your heart open, stacking the shoulders, grounded down through the left fingertips, whatever you're touching, up through the right. Look up if you can. Knees unlocked, energy moving with each breath, pulsating. right hand to your right hip. Start to look down. Bend your left knee. Step in with the right leg a little, and then lift the right leg up. Left hand on the floor or the block. As you start to turn open, stack your shoulders and start to reach that right arm up if you can. Again, not locking the left knee. Be okay to wobble. Be okay to move. There's energy flowing, expanding and contracting with each breath. Inhale and exhale. Bringing your right hand down and your right foot next to the left. Good. Bend your knees a little and pressing the toes down, creating arches in the feet, working the legs straighter. In your choice, you can hold opposite elbows here. Some of you might want to hold behind your calves and try to push your shins forward and your shins push back to work the legs straighter. If you're more open, you're welcome to stand with the balls of your feet in the palms of your hands and bow forward as your elbows work out to the sides, shoulder blades onto your back either way. Work the legs straighter without locking. Each breath with compassion, creating engagement and awareness, taking responsibility for each breath. Bending your knees and stepping back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhaling. Coming forward into plank. Knees up or down, your choice. Lower all the way down. Inhaling cobra. And lower and back to downward facing dog. Lift your armpits up, lift your butt up. Let the heels lower. Make sure you're sliding the shoulder blades onto your back, staying connected, grounded. And lowering your knees to the floor, and go ahead and have a seat. And if you do have tight hamstrings or back, you can sit up on your blanket and take your right leg out straight to the side and pull your left knee bent and out wide. So the left foot is coming in towards the groin, and take your hands and turn the inner thighs in and back here, and hands right by your hips. So that right leg is out straight, toes flexed, and turn your heart towards the right leg and start to come forward with your chest towards the leg. And you might walk your hands out. You might hold somewhere on the right leg, or some of you can hold the right foot, but notice what's touching the floor. So pressing the back of the right leg down. Feel the left butt pressing down, your fingertips pressing down, and then make some length. Draw the belly in and try to stretch your chest more forward, not your chin. The top of the head lengthens. Full breath in. And exhale. And walking your hands back in, and carefully switch sides. So taking your left leg out straight and bending your right knee in. And again, turn the thighs in and back to make some space, and flexing the toes. So feel the seat in the floor, hands by your hips to sit up tall, and then turn your chest to your left and start to come forward. Hands can stay pushing into the floor to move your chest forward, or again, walk your hands forward, holding anywhere that's available on your leg or your foot, or maybe on your mat. And take a deep breath. Press your left heel down and almost dragging it back, like you're pulling that heel towards the left hip socket to create a little bit more awareness. Full breath in. And exhale. And walking your hands back in. And now bringing your feet a little bit wider than the width of your mat. Heels on the floor and toes up. And again, move the flesh of your butt back and behind you, so you sit up on the sits bones a little bit more. Hands can stay by your hips as you come forward between your thighs, or maybe walk your hands inside. So you're bringing your chest forward, not rounded. Please don't round your shoulders. Lift your chest and bring the heart forward as if there's a magnet drawing it to the earth. And some of you can start to take your legs out a little straighter, but there's still an energy of pushing the heels down and pulling them back, and continue to fold forward a little bit more as you're able, taking deeper breaths. And notice how the breath moves us, how it changes us. We give it a little time, a little patience, and more space is created. And carefully walking your hands back in, chest up, hands behind your thighs, and pull them in, and go ahead and make your way onto your back, and make sure that you have your block or blanket nearby. And on your back, just hug your knees wide towards your shoulders and feel the connection of the back into the earth, the back of the head. And lowering your feet to the floor. And a couple of options here. So if you have a block, you can use that to slide under your hips. You can also use your blanket or a pillow under your butt. It's not in your low back at all. If you prefer, you are welcome to get yourself up close to a wall and take your legs up the wall straight. So your choice. We'll get the butt up on the blanket or the block, shoulders back, and you're welcome to keep your knees bent and feet on the floor, or you can take your legs straight up in the air. And again, this is really good to decompress our nervous system. Having a reverse flow of the circulation of our blood, very calming and soothing to our whole body, to our mind, to our heart. There's a kindness to this pose. May your breath radiate that in and out, pulsating it from your body. We have a responsibility to take care of this body that we're in, a responsibility to take care of the people that are in our family, that are in our community. We have a responsibility to take care of this earth, our home. May our intentions be that of kindness and compassion towards ourselves, towards each other, and towards the earth. May what we see externally be as beautiful as what's on the inside. May we radiate our truth and love, what's at the core of our being. May we use our powers for good. Our breath, whether we're on the mat or off the mat, is very powerful. Our thoughts to our own self and the ones that leave our mouth, so powerful. May they come from a place of love. You're welcome to keep your legs up in the air, whether on the block or legs up the wall, or you're welcome to go ahead and lower your feet back to the floor, lifting your hips, sliding that block out, and hugging your knees towards your shoulders. And then lowering your feet to the floor a little wider than your hips and arms out to the sides, and just take your knees mindfully from side to side, windshield wiper, belly in, breath nice and rhythmic. And coming back to center and letting your legs slide out straight on the earth, letting your toes fall open to the sides, arms out by your sides, palms face up, just open to receive the blessings of this practice, the wisdom of this practice, the kindness of this practice. And as your body is still, let it be heavy. Let it just relax and melt into the earth, be one with the earth, pulsating with each breath, just finding a nice natural rhythm. Relaxing the muscles on your face, between your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your ears, your shoulders, down your arms, letting your fingers wiggle and then relax. Letting the space across your chest and your heart open and broaden as it softens back. The ribs get heavy, your belly just softens. Your hips heavier, more earthy. Your legs, the thighs and the knees, down your legs to your ankles and your feet, just releasing and relaxing. Our bodies and this earth need a time of rest, a time to regroup, to restore, to re-energize. Slowly start to deepen your breath and wiggle your toes and fingers. And stretching your arms up and overhead, nice and long. And bending your knees. And rolling over to your right side. And turning your head and heart towards the earth. And bowing with gratitude, bowing with humility towards the earth. I look at this time with all of us at home as the time for the earth to have her Shavasana, to have some stillness, to let her restore herself, regain the nourishment and the nutrients and the beauty. Pressing yourself up to a nice seat and sitting well. And again, just noticing what's touching the earth. Turn your thighs in and back. And one hand on your heart and your other hand on the earth. And may we continue to move with a tenderness, a kindness towards ourselves. And as we do that, may that move into the other areas of our life, our relationships with each other and with the earth. Take a full breath in. Exhaling. And bringing your hands together at heart center. Full breath in together. Exhale, bow your head to your heart, to your light, to your truth. And may the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within guide your way on. Satnam. From my heart to each of yours, always with love and gratitude. Namaste. And happy Earth Day. Thank you, guys. Hey, it's me again. If you enjoyed this practice, please like, share, and subscribe. And consider supporting me by making a donation via Venmo or PayPal, or even going one step further and joining my ever-growing Patreon community, where you can have access to exclusive content like workshops, live stream classes, and more full-length practices before I release them to the public. Remember, it's support like yours that allows me to continue providing content to the yoga community. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so drop me a line in the comments section and look below for all details and links. Thanks so much.